Once you have done 3 wedge sketches, you need to decide on which one you like the best. Okay, I'm looking at them and I'm kind of choosing this one as my best one. So the next step is to trace it on the back of that paper. So I'm going to flip it over. Now I have a light box here, so I can actually see my design through it. You will have to go to a window. There is also, some people have tried opening up a blank PowerPoint and making it go to full screen. And so it's just a white screen. You might be able to do that using your laptop as a surface. You can try it, but honestly, a window works really well. The only downfall of that is you're going to give your shoulders a little bit of a workout. So all I'm doing is tracing my same design on the back of that sheet of paper. So that means that it's going to be on both sides. Now I am being careful when I trace. I want this design to be exactly the same as my other design. If I go too fast, then it's not going to be exactly the same and it's going to be somewhat noticeable. So by having it on both sides of the paper, we are going to be able to flip and trace and create that symmetry that the mandalas have. I will show you how all of this is going to work once we have everything set up. All right, so I'm going to continue on tracing it onto the back. All right, I have finished tracing my design onto the back. So here's my original side and here's my second side. On my original side, I'm going to label this as A, okay? And then on my new side, I'm going to label that as B. All right, that will help me as I start tracing onto my mandala. So my mandala paper is already set up and I have it already labeled A, B, so it's alternating AB all the way around. All right, so that means that if I'm in an A section, which it says A right here, I need to be on my A side. So here's my A side. So I'm going to take my wedge and I'm going to put it underneath, and then I'm going to align, and I got to be very precise on this. I'm going to align my wedge design with my mandala paper. All right, so that is aligned very, very nicely. And so now I can start tracing my design into that A section. Again, I'm being very careful and precise whenever I'm tracing because I want my design to line up and I also want it to look nice. So I'm using a lighted tracing board. You are probably going to have to do this on your window. So it might be beneficial to get a little bit of tape, and that way you can tape your wedge onto the window, and you can even carefully tape your mandala paper onto the window as well. If you use tape, it will allow you to kind of rest your arms, and then also things won't be moving around freely, causing things to mess up. All right, so I'm going to continue on tracing this section, and then I will show you what to do next. All right, so I have one section traced, and this is my A section. All right, so for my next section is going to be B. So that means I'm going to flip my paper onto my B side. So again, I'm aligning B to B. I'm going to put this underneath. I'm going to carefully align it, making sure that it is placed where it needs to be. Now, there are going to be, since we're human, there are going to be human errors as far as if everything aligns perfectly or not. So you might have to make adjustments as you're tracing. All right. So now that that's aligned, I can start tracing. So as I'm tracing, you're going to see, there we go. You're going to see that my design is going to start to illustrate symmetrical balance. Because it's flipped, and you're going to see a mirror image. Oops. All right, so here I kind of have a butterfly starting to show up because of that flipping. I think this ribbon that's kind of going through my design is going to make kind of an interesting shape as well. All right, so I'm going to continue on. So you're starting to see that mirror image or that flip design, the symmetrical design. I'm going to continue on. All right, so here I have finished tracing my first two. This was my original and this is my second one. So this is a mirror image of that. And now the process continues. So I'm going to flip my paper back over to side A, and I'm going to align that here and continue tracing until my entire paper is filled with my wedge in every section.